from the betting capital of the world. Giving raw and real breakdowns of mixed martial arts and recapping UFC events like no one else, with producer Martin on the ones and twos and combat sports betting expert Effie. You're listening to Any Action Sportscast. Any Action Sportscast. So put your headphones on and let's take this podcast to the next level.
This isn't a podcast. It's a sportscast.
Welcome back to the number one sportscast in the world, where we give full card predictions and a betting breakdown. Make sure you guys smash that like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Turn on those post notifications and share this video as well. UFC 306, Omalley vs. Merab, live at the Sphere. I'm looking forward to breaking down this card. But before we do that, let's go ahead and recap UFC Vegas 97 along with our bets.
Absolutely, Martin. UFC Vegas 97 was a great night for us because our bets went 2-1 for another profitable week where we won 1.31 units, making it 3 straight winning weeks in a row. But don't bury the big news, bro. You guys heard that right. That's the voice of producer Martin. Bro, you're back?
I'm back, baby. The return of producer Martin. And I'm back. And we're coming back stronger than ever. And just like you guys heard me say in the beginning, I need you guys to share this, like the video, tell your homies about it. Let's grow this as a community. You know, Effie has been holding it down, you know, while I was gone, and his breakdowns is just the best. You know, I hope you guys see what I see. It's good information, and we're just here to make a great community, you know. So the more support is pushed, you know, the more content we put out. But we got some good ideas, and it's going to be Any Action Sportscast 2.0.
Any action,
Sportscast.
any action.
First up on the card, we have El Nino Problema, Raul Rosas Jr. He's 9-1, a huge favorite at a -700. He's 5'9" with a 67-inch reach, and he's taking on the Mongolian murder, Aoriqileng. He's a huge, heavy underdog. You can catch him at some odds at a +475. 5'7" with a 69.3-inch reach. Effie.
Yeah, man. Crazy wide line on a 19-year-old fighter, Raul Rosas Jr. We have -700, -800 at some books. And right away, you can't touch that, man. You can't parlay that. You can't lay it straight. So you're going to have to look at this fight in a different angle if you're going to bet it. Do I think that Raul is going to win? Yeah, I do, man. Because let's be honest, Martin, the UFC is not putting Aoriqileng on this card to defeat Raul Rosas Jr. on Mexican Independence Day. I'm actually shocked that this is the first fight on the entire card. You think that Raul Rosas Jr. will be somewhere later on the card, but they have it as a home opener right now. But man, I'm going with Rosas Jr. I don't want to get greedy and bet on the sub or knockout because I do think he's going to be able to take Aoriqileng down. But I think I'm going to go with inside the distance for my best bet in that fight. Fight doesn't start round 3. I think Raul Rosas Jr. gets us down, gets him to the back, and finishes the fight pretty early.
Any action,
Sportscast.
any action.
Next up on the card, we have Puro Chicali Edgar Chairez. He's 11-5, a slight underdog at a +165. He's 28 years old, 5'7" with a 72-inch reach. And he's taking on the fearless Joshua Van, a moderate favorite at a -205. He's 22 years old, 5'5" with a 65-inch reach. Effie.
Yeah, dude, straight banger of a fight. Super pumped for this one. Should be a striking fight throughout the whole fight. But the facts are the facts, man. Listen, I'm huge on Joshua Van. I like him as a fighter. I think he's a great prospect. But man, he got knocked out 2 months ago. He's taking this fight on 2 weeks short notice. He has a 7-inch reach disadvantage. And in general, he's a slow starter who's small for the division. Edgar Chairez is no slouch, man. We're paying 2-1 odds here on Joshua Van. Like I said, a young 22-year-old prospect on 2 weeks notice, fighting a guy that's going to be big for the division. Chairez is no slouch. We've seen him throwing up Vatos Locos for life on the scales. You know, he has good nasty submissions off his back, decent striking, very aggressive on the feet. Should be a banger fight, but I feel like betting wise, this is a dogger pass for me. So for me, my pick is going to be Joshua Van via decision. Hopefully we can come off that -200 and get some plus money on him. But man, I think this is going to be a very close fight. Who you got?
Man, my first time back, and we're already going head-to-head on the first pick.
No.
As I'm going with El Puro Chicali Edgar Chairez. I just think he's the better striker, man. I think he's they're both good dogs, you know. They both can scrap. I think Edgar, to me, is the better grappler. I think, to me, he's the more higher IQ fighter. And I think those little edges is going to get him the win inside the distance. So I'm going with Puro Chicali.
Any action, sportscast, any action.
Next up, we have the first women bout of the evening. It's Yazmin Jauregui. She's 11-1, a huge favorite at a -550. She's 25 years old, 115 pounds, 5'3" with a 64-inch reach. And she's taking on Esquentandinia Ketlen Souza. She's 14-4, a heavy underdog at a +400. 29 years old, 115 pounds, 5'3" with a 63-inch reach. Effie.
And that's why we have producer Martin on the 1s and 2s. Let's get that pronunciation right there. Attaboy. But yeah, man, when I first saw this fight, I thought -300 on Yazmin was a little bit wide. I was like, holy crap, she's a huge favorite. I was hoping the line would come down a little bit, but it's going the opposite way, and it's not stopping. But I get it, man. Yazmin should tool this girl up on the feet, man. Yazmin is a slick, clean boxer, man. I really like her hands. Very vicious on the feet. Those in combinations well. Can go to the body, can go to the head. And she seems like she's a real deal. Yes, she lost. She got knocked out brutally by Denise Gomez, but man, that chin is worrisome for sure, but I don't think it's going to happen here. I actually think that she can finish this fight either late or just cruise to an easy decision here. I'm going with Yazmin Jauregui via decision. What about you?
I literally tape watch as we're filming, and I don't like to look at the odds until now, just so it's not biased. And at 3 minutes in, and I'm just like, okay, let me see the odds. And I'm like, okay, yeah. Yazmin all day, you know. I mean, is Ketlen worth to put a little money on? I don't think so. I mean, the only way I could see her winning is a heavy knockout, you know. But I think Yazmin all day. I think she's just a bigger dog. I don't, as much as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu grappler she is, Ketlen, I don't think it's enough for Yazmin. I don't think she's aggressive enough to take people down. She's not good on the clinch on the fence from what I've seen, and Yazmin all day.
Any action, sportscast, any action.
Next up on the card, we have El Loco Manuel Torres. He's 15-2. You can catch him at some books at a near even +100. He's 29 years old, 5'10" with a 73-inch reach. And he's taking on La Jaula Ignacio Bahamondes. He's 15-5, a near even at some books at a -120, 27 years old, 6'3" with a 75.5-inch reach. Effie.
Great fight right here. Super violent fight. I mean, this fight should be an absolute banger, man. Probably the fight I'm looking forward to most other than the main card here. And I'm going with Ignacio Bahamondes in this fight, man. I do think that the size that he has over Torres should help him in this fight. But, man, Torres is a straight killer, man. This guy is finishing everybody, man. He is 15-2. Both of his losses come in the first round. And I think 13 out of his 15 wins are also coming in the first round, dude. If you look at his record, first round kill, first round knockout. I mean, this guy's just rolling right through every single buddy, man. You can watch his entire tape in like 20 minutes, man. It's absolutely crazy. But so I think this is going to be on the feet, man. I don't see any of these fighters trying to shoot takedowns, trying to grapple in this fight. I think it's going to play out on the feet. So for that reason, I'm going to go with a younger, longer guy here. I'm going with Ignacio Bahamondes, man. I know it's a pick'em fight. It should be a close fight. Man, I can't wait for this one. Who you got?
Man, we're pretty much on the same page on this one, man. To me, it's a near pick'em fight, but I think this fight has potential to be one of the bonuses of the night. Either knockout of the night, because like you said, I don't see none of these guys trying to take each other down. I for sure see a knockout. I see a dirty knockout. I think they're in the sphere. I think it's going to be so hyped. You know, I think both of them are looking to make that money, and I can't choose. It literally is a pick 'em for me, but I have to pick one, and I'm going to pick Manuel El Loco Torres. But like you, I think he's the bigger fighter to me. I think he's the more... they're both kind of clanky to me and dorky when they fight, but I just think Manuel Torres, either 29-28 or it's got to be a knockout.
Ooh, nice. Yeah, Ignacio Bahamondes has that tall man defense, and it might cost him in this fight.
Next up on the card, we have Irene Aldana. She's 15-7. Books opened up at a -130. She's 36 years old, 5'9" with a 68.5-inch reach. and she's taking on the immortal Norma Dumont. She's 11-2. Some books started off at a plus 110. 33 years old, 5'7" with a 67-inch reach. FE.
Yeah, man, a super close fight in my opinion, a super easy fight to break down. This comes down to, can Norma Dumont take down Aldana? And when she does get her down, can she make it count? Because we've seen the judges not valuing just controlling someone on the ground. She has to add damage to her takedowns here in this fight. And I think she can, man. I think it's going to be pretty even on the feet. I do give the speed advantage, the volume advantage to Aldana. She has a really good jab, really good boxing on the feet. I do like her striking. But I do think that she can get taken down in this fight and controlled in this fight. So for me, my pick in this fight is Norma Dumont via decision. What do you got?
I could pretty much agree with you. I like Dumont decision.
Nice.
I also, can I see her knocking Aldana out? Yeah, Aldana's a little loose, and she's not very stern when she fights. From what I've seen, she kind of lets her guard down a little bit. Clunky, another clunky fighter. We're just gonna call them clunky fighters. I don't know the word, man, but but at the same time, if Irene has a good night, if she's feeling herself, if Norma lets the crowd get to her, if she can't handle it, if she has a bad night, if the butterflies are in her stomach, then Irene could piece her up pretty good. Irene could piece her up all the way to the end. Do I see Irene knocking her out? I don't know. I just think Norma is a nice dog. I think she can hang in there, take some pretty good punches.
Nice.
The bigger fighter, but a coin flip, I like Dumont.
Yeah, man. Also, she's 36 years old, Aldana is. So it's always good when you're betting against a 36-year-old fighter. It's always better to take the younger fighter, in my opinion. But yeah, I got Dumont as well. We align on this one for sure.
Any action, sportscast, any action.
Opening up the main card, we have lazy boy Ronaldo Rodriguez. He's 16-2. The books opened up at a minus 130. He's 25 years old, 5'6" with a 65-inch reach. And he's taking on the Jamaican sensation Osbourne. He's 12-7. Books opening up at a plus 110. He's 32 years old, 5'7" with a 73-inch reach. FE.
Dude, a sleeper good fight here. We have a fight between two strikers, in my opinion. And I'm going with the underdog here. I'm going with Osbourne. He has a crazy reach for the division. He's super awkward to deal with. And the thing that costs him in a lot of the fights that he loses is the grappling, man. We see him lose to wrestlers a lot in the UFC. And he won't have to worry about that in this fight. I do believe Lazy Boy is going to try to, stand and bang in this fight. I think it's going to be a 15-minute striking fight. I wouldn't be shocked if this fight doesn't go the distance. I actually saw that it's minus money, minus 170, I believe, to not go the distance. So you can expect a banger fight in this fight. I do think that Ronaldo is going to walk into something. Like I said, Ode's so long for the division. He has that awkward stance, the awkward frame for the division. And I think he can catch him on the feet, man. I trust Ode on the feet. I know he's getting up there in age for the division, but I do like him at, underdog money in this fight. I don't think I'm going to bet him. But my pick is Osbourne, man. What do you got?
We're on the same page on this, pretty close. I don't want to bet him for the show's sake, though. I will pick somebody, and it's Osbourne. And I think he's the bigger guy. I think he can catch Lazy Boy being lazy. I mean, I didn't make that up. It's right there. It was right there. The setup was right there for me. But again, Ronaldo, from what I've seen, is gonna have to have a good night. He's gonna have to go to the carne asada the day before, and he's gonna have to get the energy somewhere. Or Odi's gonna have to have a bad time. It's the only way I can see Ronaldo coming out. I don't see him knocking out Udi, but I like Udi, and I like him either knockout or decision.
Any action, sportscast, any action.
Next up on the card, we have Golden Boy Daniel Zellhuber. He's 15-1. The book's opening up at a minus 230. He's 25 years old, 6'1" with a 77-inch reach. And he's taking on El Gringo Estaban Ribovics. He's 13-1. Book's opening up at a plus 190. 28 years old, 5'10" with a 69-inch reach. FB.
Going with the favorite in this fight, I'm going with the Golden Boy. I'm going with Zellhuber to win this fight, but it should be a banger of a fight, dude. I'm not counting out Ribovics, man. This guy's a dangerous striker. We saw what he did to Terrence McKinney. Oh my goodness, sent him into the shadow realm. And this guy's gonna be dangerous the whole fight, man. This guy has a lot of heart, has pretty decent cardio, and he's dangerous on the feet. But I do think that Zellhuber is the better striker, and I do think that he's overall the better grappler, man. He's way younger, not way younger, but he's 3 years younger and gonna be way taller and longer, 2 inches in height, and I think a 9 or 7 inch reach advantage for this guy, man. Crazy, difference on the feet here. I think it's going to be on the feet for the most part in this fight, so I gotta take the younger, taller, longer guy. Give me Zellhuber to win this fight, and I'm actually gonna go with a hot take. I think it's gonna be a decision, man. What do you got?
I like Golden Boy. I like Daniel. As soon as I pulled him up on highlights, I was like, oh yeah, I remember this guy. I like this guy. I like this guy. I think the UFC can push this guy to be, a star for the future. At least, a star on the side. We're going to call them side stars. You know what I mean? You ever heard of a side girl? There's side stars in the UFC. Dana likes little side stars, And I'm drawn to this guy, and I think he likes the crowd. I think he's for the Mexican people, And what don't they like? They don't like El Gringos. They hate gringos. Green, go. You know what I mean? So I like Daniel. I think I could see him piecing him up all the way to the end. But Estaban, man, he is a dog. He's a perro. And I can see him taking Daniel to the doghouse. Can Daniel stay in the dog? Has Daniel been in the doghouse? Or is he such a pretty boy? I think if he gets in there with that pretty boy, attitude, which he kind of did on his last few fights, like he's kind of like, just a little too showy offy, instead of just if he can't focus in this fight, if Daniel can't focus in this fight, I think we're going to see El Gringo come out with a winnow.
Oh, you're going with the underdog. So who's your official pick, though?
I'm going to pick, I'm picking Daniel.
Oh, nice.
But at the same time, if there's an underdog pick to bet, if you guys like underdogs, I like Estaban. And if you're gonna put this on a parlay, I'd stay away from this one because I can see why the odds are what they are, but Esteban's not a bad pick to put some. Right. If can Daniel get hit and can he take it early? We're gonna know that at the Sphere.
I agree, man. Should be a close fight. It looks like you disagree with the odds, and I kind of do as well to an extent. But yeah, we're both going with Zellhuber in this one.
Any action, sportscast, any action.
In the co-main event, the current undisputed women's flyweight champion of the world, Alexa Grasso. She's 16-3-1. Books opening up at a -120. She's 31 years old, 5'5" with a 66-inch reach, and she's taking on the bullet Valentina Shevchenko. She's 23-4-1. Book starting her near even at a +100. 36 years old, 5'5" with a 65.5-inch reach. FE.
And still, I'm going with Alexa Grasso to win this fight, Martin. And it should be a very close fight, bro. I was at their last fight. While I was in the arena at T-Mobile, I thought that they were going to give it to Alexa Grasso. When it came out, as a draw, I was shocked. And I was even more shocked to see the reason why, man. A judge gave Alexa Grasso a 10-8 round in that 5th round, which caused the draw. And I didn't think that was a 10-8 round. So in a way, Alexa Grasso got super lucky that judge made that mistake. But yeah, man, just Valentina's getting up there in age. I do think that we're going to see a little bit of a fall off here eventually, but she's a good fighter, man. Still, stylistically, I think that Grasso has a better boxing, better hands, while Valentina has a better kicks, more variety in kicks than Alexa. And in the grappling, man, I feel like Valentina actually can take down Grasso, pretty frequently in this fight. She was doing it a lot in that last fight, and she obviously got submitted when they first fight. She got dropped in that 2nd round in her last fight against, Alexa. So I just think that she's going to be wrestling Alexa in this fight, and I don't know if that's going to be enough in front of the Mexican judges. She herself, Martin, said that she wouldn't rematch Alexa Grasso in Mexico City or anywhere else that's super, supportive of Mexicans. And then here she is in the Sphere co-headlining the biggest, UFC event for Latin fights in forever. So I'm going with Grasso. I think, the crowd's going to obviously be on her side. I think that she's going to win this fight, man. Give me and still by decision Alexa Grasso, bro. What do you got?
In the beginning of the fights when it goes ding ding ding,
Yeah.
It's ding, ding, ding time. It is ding, ding, ding time for Valentina Shevchenko, the bullet. Alexa did a mistake. She brought gloves to a gunfight. Valentina is going to dance all around her all night long. She's going to be locked in, as the kids say. It's demon time, as the kids say. This is my pick of the night. I mean, if it's something that I'm comfortable doing, it's Valentina Shevchenko. Alexa Grasso ain't it. She ain't there. I don't know what people are saying that I can't see, but I think she's, it should be Alexa Grasso for being here, But the time is up. The champ is back. The champ is back. She's here to stay. Decision. She takes her to the end. I think she pieces her up real nice to the end. So see you later, Alexa Grasso.
And for those that haven't seen Martin recently on the shows, one thing you need to know about him is that we used to call him the underdog whisperer. And to hear him so confident on an underdog doesn't make me feel good about my Alexa Grasso pick, I'll tell you that much. But I haven't bet it. Obviously Martin's super heavy on the Valentina, calling it the play of the night for him. So, but I think, it goes the other way. We're divided on this one. Should be a great fight. Give me Grasso via decision, though, and still.
In the main event of the evening, we have the current bantamweight champion, Sugar Sean O'Malley. He's 18-1, a minus 120. Hey. Hello? This is the Sugar Sean State Athletic Commission? Interesting. Okay. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. In the main event, we have Sugar Sean O'Malley. He's 19-0. He's minus 120, 29 years old, 5'11" with a 72-inch reach. And he's taking on the machine, Merab Dvalishvili. He's 17-4. He's 33 years old, 5'6" with a 68-inch reach. FE.
Great fight, super close fight, and I think that whoever wins this fight is gonna look like minus 500 on the money line. Either Merab's gonna go out there and just bulldoze Sean O'Malley, or Sean O'Malley's gonna knock out Merab Dvalishvili, being reckless, man. And it's funny, we don't share our picks, we don't tell each other who we're picking until it's time to record on camera. But before we started today, Martin showed me something that really scared me, and it makes me want to get off the sugar train here. So I heard through the grapevine that he got taken down by a random civilian barber off the street. And it was true. It was true. He jumped guillotine. He got taken down, but he did choke the guy out. And yeah, man, I just one of those things where Merab Martin is averaging over 1 takedown attempt per minute in the UFC. The guy's a machine, but he's also quite hittable, man. Henry Cejudo, of all people, hurt him in that fight that he won most recently. We've seen Marlon Moraes hurt him. We've seen him dropped in fights. And he can't afford to do that against someone like Sean O'Malley, man. He is a sniper. He's a young guy, obviously the big star in the UFC. But it's hard to ignore the grappling of Merab in this fight, man. I really want to pick Sean. I really want to pick him via KO. I feel like I'm always downing the guy. I had, Peter Yan, he won that fight. I had Aljamain Sterling, he also won that fight. And now I'm going to do it again, man. I'm going with Merab Dvalishvili to win this fight. And I'm going to go with a decision, man. I wouldn't be shocked if he finishes this fight late, but I do think that he's going to be able to get to the hips, get to the feet of, Sean O'Malley and get him down, man. I really trust the grappling of the machine here. I have to see someone defend it until I go against him. So give me Merab via decision and new. What do you got?
Look, I think this is the battle of the red coat. That's what I'm calling this fight. It's the battle of whose coat actually is the red coat. Whose was it? Is Sean the owner of the red coat, or is Merab the owner of the red coat? But it's smash time. It sounds like it's smash time to me for Merab. And I don't know, like I felt like the same thing when it was the Aljo fight, is I thought he was gonna get smashed up. And I don't know, like I told you earlier, I don't know if it's like a Sean O'Malley thing. Like this is the fight that's gonna show me that he is the real deal. If it's the fight, it's this one. It's gonna show everyone if he's the real deal. If he could piece up Merab, keep him at a distance and just piece him up early, and that maybe he does have a magic touch. Maybe his left is deadly. Maybe he puts frog poison on his glove before he fights. I don't know. I don't know. But you know what? Unfortunately, it's if It's Merab. It's Smash City. It's Smash City all day, and man, Smash City.
And now, Martin, what do you make of him posting that cut that he had with the stitches and the staph infection? Do you make anything of this that he's posting on social media?
I thought it was like an old video, you know, and that he's kind of trolling that, and he's getting what he wants because there was a reason he put it out, right? I don't know. Maybe he wants him to strategically know that he's going to aim for that side, and maybe their game plan is coming around of if Sean attacks him from that angle. I don't know. I don't make nothing of it. He gets cut all the time, like he says. He doesn't have to worry. In mine, he doesn't have to worry. I don't know why Sean took this fight. I don't know what he sees that we aren't. I don't know if it's the bag. I don't know if he read in his head, look, if I lose, I still have this way option, you know. I don't know. I think he wants maybe in and out of the UFC boxing fights. I don't know. There's something weird about him taking this fight, but it's Merab all day.
Hey, man, I don't, have anything against Omalley or anything. People say I don't like him, but I really like him. He's a big star. He seems like a cool guy. But yeah, I agree, man. I'm going with the machine in this fight. Super big event, once in a lifetime event. Martin, do you think the sphere itself is going to affect the fights? Dana White is claiming that, there's going to be effects, there's going to be motion going on during the actual fights. Do you think this is going to affect any of the fighters' performance at all?
It definitely is, man. And not that I have, I've seen firsthand of what it's going to be like, but look, man, you're talking about a big screen on top of you, all directions, all around you. You're talking about big lights. The fighters haven't even seen what they're going to fight in, right? Maybe they're going to tell them, hey, look, this is going to pop up when you're fighting. Don't be scared. Maybe they get a assessment of what's going to happen when they fight, or are they going to see it live like we are? I just know that if this is the fight to get VR goggles, the MetaQuest, and you want to see this thing virtually, it's this fight. It's this fight right here. I mean, if you haven't been in the sphere, it's crazy. I think when Dana White says it's going to be, put on the best sporting event of the year, I think he just meant the sphere itself. If you're in there, okay, you have a seat and you experience it, and you went to baseball games, and you went to football games, and you went to a hockey game, which one of those events stood out the most? Which one would you say, I want to go again to? That's what he means. Means that it's like out of all time, like we're talking about big mega fights of the best UFC fights. No, he's talking about experience, and man, I wish I could be there.
Absolutely, man. Should be a crazy historic night of UFC fights, man. Get your homies together, get your friends together, order some pizza, and watch these fights, man, because there's gonna be amazing stuff going on the whole night. Dude, shout out to producer Martin coming back for this huge event. If you guys want more producer Martin, leave a comment, let me know what you have this week, and it's gonna be a great night, man. So it should be a lot of close fights, a lot of bangers, a lot of violence.
Sportscast. I'm your producer Martin, joined by your local Las Vegas handicappers,